if you look at the fact that like a Vitamix blender breaks open the cell wall, so you maximize how much of the vitamins and minerals you actually absorb, that's been proven by a study that showed people absorb more nutrition that way, and that you'll probably eat more vegetables than you ever would by chewing. Really, you add that to the fact that the results show that smoothies work great for weight loss. There's really nothing to argue about.
She heard from some other people in our field that say to eat your food and not have smoothies, especially if you have weight to lose.
Yes, but you know what's interesting is whenever people say that, they never actually have any results of why they say that. So there's a difference between thoughts or theories and actual results and evidence. So I've worked with thousands of people now, and we have people who are doing this protocol and they lose body fat pretty quickly. In fact, I've had a lot of folks come to me who are already plant-based for years, but they couldn't lose any more weight. They got stuck, right? Then when they add the smoothies and boom, their metabolism picks up and the weight just falls off. So in terms of results and evidence, it works really well. And then on top of that, listen, so results-wise, hands down, I can do it all day with you. If you go to our Smoothie Shred group, you can see it all day. There is really no difference in terms of why chewing it would be better. In fact, not that long ago, my buddy Dr. Greger posted about an article where they showed that they measured the nutrition absorption in smoothies versus chewing, and you absorb more nutrition from smoothies than from chewing. So if you're trying to get all of those vitamins and minerals and things you want, you're actually getting more of it when you blend it. But one of the other things that very early on, I met Michael Greger at a conference, and he was interested. He's always interested in things, right? And he was interested in what I was doing. It was kind of like, okay, that's new. And then, he's like, I don't know about smoothies, but that sounds interesting, right? And then a year later, he said, what is in those smoothies? Because just like Chef AJ said in the beginning, he goes, everywhere I go around the world, people are coming up to me saying your smoothies save their life. What are you doing? What is in there? And I told him what was in there. And he goes, that's really interesting because I bet you get people to eat more vegetables than anybody else can. And I said, absolutely. It's the way we dose them up too. So if you look at the fact that like a Vitamix blender breaks open the cell wall, so you maximize how much of the vitamins and minerals you actually absorb, that's been proven by a study that showed people absorb more nutrition that way, and that you'll probably eat more vegetables than you ever would by chewing. Really, you add that to the fact that the results show that smoothies work great for weight loss. There's really nothing to argue about. So whenever I see people say that, I'm like, cool, what is that based off of? Did you do a comparative study head to head? No, I was just thinking about it. And I thought about, enzymes and saliva. And I just, for me, and I say this humbly because I as someone who was sick and as a scientist and a physician, I never trust just my thoughts on things, because no matter how smart you are, you're wrong a lot of the time. All of us, right? Just as humans. So the only thing I ever teach people is results. Because I know if I'm thinking about things, I might be right and I might be wrong, but I only want to teach what I can prove and what I've already seen proven. That's why even when we released our protocol, it was after testing it for over a year to make sure there was no outlier, that there was nothing we were missing, because I wanted to make sure that everything that we include is something that actually works to help people, and anything that we're taking out is because it's not, right? So I'm very careful about what I teach, and it's always based off results. My husband had the largest boot camps in Orange County, California before we left California. And he tested diets on his group that all had the same exercise program, and he would test diets. Smoothies were the best thing he could give people to get rapid fat loss with the right exercise that he would teach them. So when it comes to really testing smoothies and fat loss and health, we've got so many results. Over 1,000 people have done rapid recovery alone. Like, the results prove that it's absolutely great. And you can tell by how people feel. They drink them. They've got great energy, glorious bowel movements. Like, everything starts working better for them. So if you prefer chewing, chew away. That is perfectly fine. If you want to chew them up, fantastic. I like to chew salad. When I healed from lupus, I didn't know about smoothies, and I chewed pounds of raw vegetables a day. But if you're worried that that's going to actually have a negative impact, if you make them the way we teach you, 100%. By the way, Dr. Greger, after he told me that, he made his own video on his favorite green smoothie. And that was, it was what such a beautiful thing to see how that changed. Dr. Clapper teaches it now, where he once questioned it. And now he'll text me asking me like, what do you think about this? Right? That I feel like in the plant-based community, our results have really gotten some of the folks who thought differently before to see differently now. Some folks are stubborn and don't want to, but again, if you see someone teaching that, please ask them, is this based off of a theory, or have you put a head-to-head looking at fat loss with smoothies versus salads to show that? And I think you're gonna find that they haven't. So be careful about that. Now, that is not to say that not all smoothies are equal. I'm not talking about a fruit smoothie, right, that you added some maple syrup to. I'm talking about 75% greens, handful of flax or chia, fruit for flavor, water. They are all the ingredients your body needs to create a fast metabolism. So no need to fear of that at all. In fact, embrace it, because it makes your life so much easier when you're trying to lose weight or get healthy.